Giadiva Guina Usul, Falcha Gudi on LFC stuff. Oh no, hang on, no, sorry. Hi, welcome to the LFC Stuff podcast. My name is Shane. I thought we were doing the Irish version there. We're doing the English one first because, markets and all that. I'm here on the LFC Stuff podcast as part of the LFC Stuff media empire. Joining me here today, alongside me, first and foremost, our recently dethroned but not forgotten supreme leader of LFC Stuff, Dave. Hello, Dave.
Hello.
And what is an empire without this man? It's Josh.
Hello. Thank you for that wonderful welcome.
Yeah, Fulcher wrote. So we're back. Last we were heard of, it was leading into the Leicester game. That was watching it live the media would tell you it was a close game that we were lucky to win, but it's actually probably Liverpool's best performance of the season, at least in terms of creating chances and limiting opposition chances. But it still required the brass balls of James Milner to pull us through at the end. I suppose before we move on to the big weekend, what did you guys think of the Leicester game?
I'll let Dave go first. He goes the game.
Oh, he does indeed.
Ironically, I actually went pen. I'm an awful person. I was following the late events on my phone walking through Stanley Park.
Oh dear.
He didn't go the game.
Did you do that to avoid the traffic or what?
After being stuck in 2 hours worth of traffic for a 10-minute car journey home after the Salzburg game, yeah. But
oh dear.
You didn't see the Leicester game?
I did see the Leicester game, yeah.
You just didn't see the last few minutes.
I just didn't see the last.
What? I didn't even pick up on it. What a wool! Oh my god!
Yeah.
What a wool! That is woolly back behaviour if ever I heard it.
Yeah, but it was just really reminiscent of the Leicester game last season, where obviously I think the wheels were kind of falling off a tad at that point anyway. Was that before or after the West Ham game last year? I think it was after, wasn't it? I don't know.
Wait, in what way was it reminiscent of the one last season?
In terms of atmosphere, and obviously we kept on banging on the door.
It was before West Ham, I think. Anyway, sorry.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think it was the start.
It was just after Man City had lost to Newcastle. It was the day after.
Because that Leicester game last season is the game that a lot of people associate with the crowd just fucking losing their heads, and
we were crap though, so it's understandable.
Yeah, we were crap that night. Whereas this time, we even to watch the game, we fucking it was I remember I said in the preview I hope for the classic kind of cowardly away Rodgers performance where he sets out a defensive team that don't really attack but yet still gives up loads of chances, and it looked like that to watch it. And then you check the expected goals and it was like 3.5 to 0.1. Like they literally didn't have a shot until the 70th something minute. Like they just offered nothing, and we battered the hell out of them. Trent created so many, I think like 3 or 4 big chances. Milner missed a couple. Like we absolutely battered them. But because of the timing of the goals, the narrative dictates that it's another squeaked win for Liverpool.
Do you mean Liverpool?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Sorry,
but I mean, what I was saying about the atmosphere, it weren't. It was more tense than anything. I mean, as I said, that I left before the goal, but when I was leaving, I was obviously under the impression that we weren't going to win, and it weren't a sense of frustration. It was more a sense of frustration towards the fact that I was so frustrated at it. So it was a sense of frustration, I guess, but it went at Liverpool. It was more at the fact that we can't draw a game without it feeling like the world is ending.
which
And
is fucking heavy in early October, isn't it? Like
it is, yeah.
it's rough going. A long
Yeah, we've
out
got
season.
what? Yeah, we've got 7 more months of this.
Well, good thing this weekend's fixture will be a nice stress-free endeavor. You know, no no angst or gnarl or dry heaving 2 hours before the match for me. No, sir.
I think this has to be the only game that I just, to be honest, I refuse to watch. I don't think I've watched the last 3 away games against United, just purely out of the fact that it just, it winds me up too much. It gets to me a bit too much. More.
Before we move on to that, spoiler, the United game. We're away at Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams.
Yeah, if you try to sleep through the entire season, sorry, it's the worst game of the season on Sunday.
Yeah, it's positively vile. We had to endure an equally vile 2-week international break as well.
Do you know what? I enjoyed the international break because I found the start of the season has been draining as anything to watch.
Yeah, it's like when the Champions League comes along, it's kind of something different, a refresher.
It was really nice.
I
I found it really nice just to not think about who we're going to potentially drop points to next time.
Yeah,
and think about who City have got.
I can definitely see the upside of that. All right. Well, yeah, we'll briefly touch on international crap ball later, but yeah, it's United this Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Dave, I had no idea you were so bad. I knew I was bad for United games. Like just the nerves. It's like something from like childhood when Liverpool lost to United and you had to go to school that week. It's just, I don't know, puts the shits up you for life. But yeah, are you going to watch this time?
He has to. He's got a podcast to do about it. So sorry, he's got no choice.
I'll just do what I do.
He fucks off the ends of matches anyways. So what harm is the other 80 minutes? You know,
I'll just do what I do every single week. Watch match today, look at understats, look at sofa score, and then just wing it. It's pretty simple, to be honest. But to be honest, I can't see me watching it again. It's the atmosphere. It's everything about it. It's just horrible. Yeah. And I'd rather do without that in my life, to be honest.
But what are you going to do on Sunday at 4:30 then?
Probably try to sleep. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be drunk by the time the game kicks off, so I'll be all right.
Oh, Mr. Daytime Drinking. What's the occasion?
I've got the afternoon off work, so afternoon in the pub.
Capitalism.
It's £2.5 a pint though, so you know I'll take it.
Yeah, gotta load up.
Yeah.
I think I was gonna go watch the game in a pub, in the local that I watched. I don't know if I mentioned it before. It's actually called the Wool Shed, which is just fucking perfect. It's a really good sports bar in Dublin.
Especially for Man United against Liverpool.
Yeah, it's too good. That's my new local now in Dublin. It's a really good sports bar, but I think I'm actually going to be resigned to. Well, but I'm not too sad to not go because it'll be fucking wedge and it'll be full of all kinds. Even though you can book a table or whatever, but I think I'm going to be watching it at home, streaming it from the way my Sunday is shaping up. But that's no bad thing because I'm not too heartbroken to not be going out in public for a United and Liverpool game. But yeah, it's how long has it been since we were there? It was March, I think it was. We mentioned Leicester last season when the wheels were coming off. It was Leicester, West Ham, United, and Everton. Those were, I think there was one other draw, but there was one other draw after New Year's that we had, and United was one of them, and it wasn't a good performance. It finished 0-0 on the day. I think did United use all their subs by half time?
There were 4 injury enforced changes in the first half, and 3 of them were United. So
yeah,
there was no real rhythm to the first half.
Yeah, which suited United down to the ground. I don't know, had they just beaten PSG at that stage?
They were in the middle of, they were getting towards the end of Solskjaer's purple patch. So
yeah, the muscle injuries were starting to set in.
Yeah, you can't really be too revisionist about it. You can't say United were like they are at the moment. Back in February, they're actually doing all right then.
Yeah, but I think we still knew, even then, like underlying numbers.
I just think
what a joyless phrase that is, you know.
Yeah.
to
For
quote
me-
Alex Shaw.
In terms of that game in February, Firmino going off killed us. So I think as soon as he went off, I said, "Oh, it's going to be a draw. We're going to draw
Yeah.
this."
Well, the big criticism of Klopp from that game as well was that we started with Henderson and Wijnaldum, which otherwise the team was as the team is, but it wasn't just started Henderson and Wijnaldum, but there was accusations that we're far too conservative. People said he played for a point. Some people to this day probably go intergalactic brain with it and say, "Oh, that cost us the title," along with setting up 2 defensively away at Everton the following week, I think it was. But either way, it wasn't a good performance there last year.
Wasn't Milner at right back as well?
It was. Trent was missing.
Oh.
That was a huge thing because Milner got so much of the ball. I remember us doing the review of it as well. We were talking about how Milner Henderson had so much of the ball on the right channel and just couldn't get anything
I actually
done.
I think Milner's quite good on the ball. It's just probably
He is,
not
but
at
in
right
that
back.
game, but in that game, it was just not happening, and we really missed Trent's.
I really do think though, after those
Playmaking.
games, we, especially the Everton one, but yeah, you think about United one as well. We kind of look to play a bit more away from home, and that's why we obviously have gone 17 games in a row we've won in the league. So we'll obviously look to try and match City's record. But I think those games we stopped with this little, I don't know how to describe it, almost slow in terms of trying to do things. We actually went to away games. If you look at Bayern Munich, we actually tried to play against them. Obviously, we had to. But we've looked, I think, since then to actually be a little bit, not expansive, but a little bit proactive away from home. So
Even with the same personnel.
Yeah, even with the same personnel. So I think those games are a bit of a wake-up call. Like, okay, you're not going to win games all the time just by trying not to lose. And so I think over the last 2 or 3 months, we have actually looked to try and win games when we've gone away from home, which is good. And I think personally we'll be fine on Sunday, but it depends on what approach we take to the game.
But we should say as well, United are in a fucking state at the moment.
I think United will just kick their own heads in because they seem to be useless.
They've got injuries, although I think some of them come back. But results in the season, I can't even remember where they are in the table. I think they might be bottom half.
12th, I think.
Yeah, this is the worst United team in all of our lifetimes by a country mile.
You say they're going to be people coming back from injury. Okay, Pogba. They're pretty much saying Pogba's going to be out. They don't think he's going to be fit. De Gea looks like he's not going to be fit. Martial's probably going to make it. Do you want a half fit Martial really? The 2 people who look like they're going to be coming back are the fullbacks, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw, and I don't think they offer them really anything that would trouble us. The only thing that Wan-Bissaka can do is defend, but that's because he puts himself in such ridiculous positions that I think that we can exploit him anyway. And Shaw's just a fat bastard, so he's crap. So, yeah, I don't think their injured players coming back is going to make any difference whatsoever. I don't like Luke Shaw, by the way.
Yeah, really, you don't say.
Looking at their injuries, though, I mean, I know I've kind of peddled this Alisson better than De Gea. Not nonsense, because it's true and it has been for a long time. But I mean, are United better without him? Really, in his current form?
Well, Romero's kept 6 clean sheets out of 7 in the Premier League, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, Romero's a good goalkeeper. It's not like he's a bad goalkeeper.
Oh, he is, yeah. But
I mean,
I think
this point,
psychologically, you probably want De Gea in goal, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only reason I want De Gea in goal is because if we are, as I saw in my wildest dreams, if we are going to beat them 6-0, I want all those goals to go past De Gea because fuck knows we own him over the years. But yeah, I suppose he is in terrible form, but he still has to be a better keeper than Romero. Like he's still, I know he's letting in way more goal stuff, but he still pulls off the odd classic De Gea great save, or he still has to be better than Romero because although Romero's a good backup keeper, he's like this weirdo where he was starting for Argentina, but he was never a regular club level. He was playing for some middling Italian club, and he was just sat on the bench for 3 years, but he still started for Argentina. So like, it's kind of hard to say how good he is because he just doesn't really play that much. But yeah, he has a good record for United, but those would have been, I suppose, under Mourinho when they were maybe a bit more. Well, initially they were a bit defensively better. And speaking of being defensively better, the weird thing with United, the irony of United, that the people said, "Oh, Solskjaer's team will regress massively," or they're likely to, and they did. But their numbers are actually quite good this season, at least thanks to all the penalties they've won. If you look at expected goals, they should have won a lot more points than they have. But missing penalties has cost them a lot.
Yeah, but their open play next year apparently about 0.5 per 90.
But defensively
defensively
they've been quite, I think, some of the best defensive numbers in the league. Even like when they lost 2-0 to West Ham, they still like didn't really give up a clear chance. They just conceded to a free kick and then couldn't score their own chances.
They really are Liverpool 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, so are we going to have trouble getting openings? Because not that I think that they're really well protected with Matic, the ghost of Nemanja Matic shielding them, but like with Maguire, Lindelof has turned out okay for them. Wan-Bissaka, for all his faults, can defend, and Shaw is decent. Do we think there's a chance they could frustrate us like they did the last 2 seasons we've gone there, or?
Oh, they'll frustrate us. I just don't think they have it in them to do it the whole game. I think if they spend all their time, because I think the only reason they have good defensive numbers is because they're so pathetic on the ball, and you'll see them have loads of possession where they're just not doing anything with it, and it means the opposition don't attack very much, but it also means they're not attacking very much either.
Yeah, their games are awful to watch. When they're not losing in banterous fashion, it's awful.
I watched the Newcastle game and I was shocked at how often Newcastle were getting at them and getting through the midfield, and none more so than the goal when they've got 6 players back covering a 3-man counter attack and they still concede. So I just don't think United look like they know what they're doing. You look at Solskjaer on the bench and he's often waving his arms around, and even he doesn't know what he looks like. He's trying to ask them what to do. That Newcastle game was just really poor.
Yeah, they were really bad,
and it was
not that they gave up loads of chances, but just
they gave up enough chances against a very poor Newcastle team to sit back and go, whoa, they are really bad for Manchester United. And
we saw that Liverpool game. We saw that kind of game for Liverpool so many times over the bad years.
I don't think they will. I don't think the United fans will be content with them trying to stop Liverpool for 90 minutes, because they obviously expect at Old Trafford you want to beat Liverpool. Obviously, we want to beat them.
They'll probably try and play it out, which is good for us as well.
Yeah, but the one thing we want them to do is be brave and trying to take us on, because we know what we have to do is just, if we can sit in a defensive block, they won't break us down, because they can't do it to any team. They haven't broken anyone down this season. So that's our best bet, and then we just need the front three to actually decide to all turn up for once away at a big team, because they just don't do it. And this is the perfect chance for them to finally
these
turn up
lads
away
can win
from
all the
home.
European. They can win all the European cups they want. They'll forever be frauds in our eyes unless they do the business at Old Trafford.
Well, I personally want to have a record of the most consecutive wins.
I just want to beat United. I just win. Just win.
I don't care how we win, but
yeah,
I think we will. I think we'll be pretty comfortable.
Yeah, even because if we assume that if it's Henderson and Wijnaldum both played 2 full games, Milner's rested.
I think we'll see Keita and Milner personally with Fabinho.
I'd love that. I'd be shocked if Naby got a start, but you never know.
I don't think he'll play Henderson and Wijnaldum.
Yeah, well, there's a question of who starts alongside Virgil as well, because it was obviously Gomez starts the first game, then Matip comes in and just does what he's done all 2019 and been great. Then he gets a little injury, and then to everyone's shock, I think Gomez comes in against Leipzig, and the other Red Bull team, the other fizzy drink FC. He comes in, doesn't look great, nor did anyone at the back, and then Lovren gets a start to everyone's shock and horror against Leicester, but he was fine on the whole. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the nod there, whether because Matip is back in training, but whether he's ready.
He'll be Matip.
Yeah. What do you think, Dave, about how we'll line up?
I'm not too sure. I think he's likely to start the usual show, to be honest.
I don't think that would be a bad thing either. I think they've been all right this season. All right, not great. They've been all right. I think it's
the three midfielders.
Yeah, all right.
Fabinho's been good. I don't think Henderson's been very good at all.
The problem for Fabinho is he's very good for 60 minutes, and then all the work he's been doing starts to catch up on him, and he starts leaving lots of space. I mean, look at
Chelsea and Leicester.
Leicester's goal was very poor from Fabinho. Leicester's goal especially. So I think there has to be a time when we have started doing it that once Fabinho starts getting worn out is when we should switch the system to someone next to him. And if we could do that and do it properly, then yeah, good. But we can't keep leaving Fabinho on his own to deal with everything. Because
he gets through. He gets through a sick amount. He has been really good, and he gets through so much work. But then it's no surprise that he's, as a converted lone six, he looks a bit worn out come 60, 70 minutes. And the one thing that the other midfielders should be doing is helping him out.
It's because he can single-handedly just put out fires as well. I don't know. I don't know how the game's going to go.
You won't know either because you're not going to bloody watch it.
It's just unpredictable in terms of how they're going to set up, how we're going to set up. I just hope that Klopp kind of learns from the Everton and United game last season and goes for the neck, because I think if we can rattle them, then they will be properly rattled. It's either going to go exactly like it did in March, or it's going to be reminiscent of the 13-14 3-0.
What, hat-trick of penalties? Wouldn't mind that.
Well, I was going to follow that up by the 4-1 as well in 2000, and I think it was.
2009, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's going to either go one of two ways. We're going to batter them, or we're going to draw.
Yeah.
No real in between.
We should really be beating these over 90 minutes, and I like it, the fact that it's Solskjaer as well. Like you do hope that he'll just naively try to. He'll tell them this is Man United. That's it. That's the team talk. He'll send them out to try and play against us and hopefully play right into our hands. It's not Mourinho who, for all that he declined badly, he did at least know how to set up against Liverpool. He did know what to do. Even when the Shaqiri game, they were frustrating us, and then it took Shaqiri to come on, start moving the ball forward, and then we eventually, one of our 200 shots that day went in off a deflection. But Solskjaer, you'd think he'll play into them, and I think their attendance is down as well. That's how bad it's getting at United. The crowd could turn, hopefully, even though it feels like both sets of fans for this game are always dead. They're so up for it, they're almost defiant. Even when we were losing 2-0 there in 17-18, we were still, the fans were singing the whole second half. So it's almost like neither sets of fans want to blink. But yeah, who knows? They're in the worst shape they've been in my entire life. So an early goal, and it could be a memorable one.
I think we're going to win really comfortably. Yeah, I just don't see them causing any problems. I just don't think they've got enough quality. The amount of times you see Rashford completely isolated up front, I think he'll be dealt with fairly comfortably, unless he decides to play him on the left and do his funny little Lingard up front trick that he tried a little bit last season. But yeah, I don't see them having enough quality to play. I mean, I watched the AZ game as well, and that was just I don't know how, as a fan of United, you could look forward to watching them, and that's
there's nothing.
That's
There's
always
no,
a problem. Not
even,
for me.
Even Daniel James is like their great new hope. The media are all over, but I watch him and I just think
he's average.
He's so limited. Like he looks like a £12 million signing from the Championship.
He's raw. He's very raw.
But even I don't like raw. I don't think there's like massive upside to him. I think he's just scored a few goals. But
he would be like if Wilson was in the first team for us.
Yeah,
that's what it would look like. Everyone thinks he's really good, but then you actually watch him for a few weeks, you think, well, the only thing he's good at is throwing himself to the floor and trying to con the referee. And he's even been booked twice for diving anyway, so I doubt he's even good at that.
And he got found out for faking a concussion for Wales during the week there as well. So. Which
isn't good.
Not enough got made of that. That's really, really bad.
Well, I know that there was a charity came out, didn't they, and absolutely slammed Giggs and James for just the general, oh well, sort of reaction to it. And
I think it encapsulated how seriously concussions aren't taken in football.
Yeah,
and it feels like it's going to be something serious will have to happen to someone before the governing bodies. Lord knows they're pretty slow to act on other serious issues in football, especially this week. So but he should have been. That was I don't know why they thought that made them look clever either, But it is Ryan Giggs, so the next United boss in waiting.
Yeah, I think shagging his brother's beard is a good idea as well. So I think the less said than Ryan Giggs' logic, the better. But I'm just having a quick scan through the training photos here. And I mean, I think all the national team lads are still away, but there's a lot of Herbie Kane in these photos. There's a lot of Herbie Kane, a lot of Harvey Elliott, a lot of Naby, some Andy Lanigan.
Salah trained on his own as well.
Yasser Larouci.
Is Brewster fit?
Yes, he played for England yesterday.
Yeah, I was wondering because Elliott got the nod ahead of him on the bench against Leicester.
Elliott can't play. He's banned, remember?
Yeah, he's banned.
Oh yeah, that thing caught up to him.
Yeah.
So he won't be on the bench.
So will it be Brewster and Origi on the bench then?
Potentially.
Probably fucking.
Has Brewster even made a bench?
I can't wait.
Been on a bench this season?
He has when there was an injury, I think.
Yeah, but he's not featured on every bench ready to come on. He hasn't even played for us yet.
It's because he's not done enough. He was really poor against MK Dons, so
he was shit against MK.
Yeah, he
didn't take his chance. So sorry.
And Elliott looked fucking amazing against MK Dons.
Well, that's the stark contrast, isn't it? You've got 16, 17-year-old, however old Elliott is. First game for Liverpool.
I hope we play them all again against Arsenal.
But then you look at Brewster, and he made a big song and dance a little bit last season about how he needed first team football or he'd leave. And sorry, if you don't take your chance, I mean, it was the perfect chance for him against MK Dons.
It is only one game in the cup as well, though.
Yeah, but you'd expect him to be doing a lot better if he wants to trouble the front three for minutes over this season.
Yeah, but wasn't it Klopp? Wasn't it this summer? He said he wanted to go out on loan. Klopp was like, "No, you're staying. We're going to use you." So
but if you want to be used,
everything with Klopp, he must not be training well. That's always because I was even just randomly watching the Klopp and Linders thing, and I don't
think Brewster's going to make it at Liverpool.
How dare you? Oh. How dare you cutting us off?
He's the kind of player who can have those games. MK Don's the only thing that's going to change the perception of performances is the fact that he scores goals.
Yeah, that's it. He could have that performance and still score 2 goals. So
yeah, it's not as though he's much of a hold up. Machine. You're not going to go through him.
Yeah, I mean it's pre-season, but I did think he when I watched him in pre-season, I thought he looked better at the hold up than I was expecting. But then I haven't watched much of him at U team, but. Look, we'll see either way with him. Yes. How did we get to talking about him? Brewster. Who's going to be on the bench?
It was via my perusing through Getty images.
We haven't mentioned our Lord and Savior, Alisson, might be back.
He'll be back.
Yeah, and I suppose now might be a good time as ever to throwing him in.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it.
I think if ever there was someone we could throw in, it'd be him.
Yeah,
like mentally.
No, I'm not saying mentally.
You trust him.
I'm not saying mentally, but yeah, he's only just come back.
I think if he's in, then we know he's ready. It's that kind of thing of like, it's not like it's not like Adrian's been crap and fucking hell. Just get him back in goal ASAP. It's it's if he's in, it's because he's really ready.
I think he's had the perfect excuse to be able to do it though. With I personally don't think it was that bad, but with the Maddison goal.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but even then, it wasn't like a big thing.
It was poor. It was straight at him. He should have saved it.
Yeah, but it wasn't like if he had kicked it in off Vardy like he did for Ings, then it would be like, oh my god, like because that's all people see. Whereas, and we'll kind of, but if you suppose now's a good time to review him. Adrian's been really good in my opinion. Like I thought he would be.
I think he's been good. I won't go really good.
I think he's been really.
At the end of the day, that save, that Leicester chance could have been 2 points if we hadn't got a penalty in the last minute, and it was a poor save. It was straight at him.
But you could argue that he saved us points in other games as well.
He did, but he could have easily thrown it. Well, we could have easily crumbled at Southampton because of a very, very stupid mistake that,
Yeah, but he stopped us from going. He stopped us from going 1-0 down in the first place. So
and he made good saves against Chelsea. I think he's been good. I think he's done what he's had to do, and it's a testament to him. It's a testament to him that we're 8 out of 8.
Yeah, no, he's played his part. Sure, the Super Cup as well.
I just don't think there's any. I don't think there's any question who starts against United though. It's one of those.
Well, if that's it, if Alisson is ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Alisson's biggest fan.
Sure
are. But I don't know. There's just something about. I guess it's just that it's natural with the nerves of the match and doubting every small minute detail about it. Really,
we're talking as if whoever we start in goal is going to have to save a shot anyway.
Yeah.
We're probably getting a bit ahead of ourselves in that regard.
I just think goalkeepers is the sort of thing where rhythm maybe isn't quite. It's something you can maybe do in training as well as in a match, because he's obviously had the whole of last season with the way we play and everything. I don't think him missing 8 games is going to make a massive difference in terms of his form / how well he's going to do. I don't think he's going to forget how to be the best goalkeeper in the world just because he's been out injured. So I think he'll be fine if he comes in, and I think we'll keep a clean sheet personally, and he probably won't have much to do either. I think United will just, as I said, kick their own heads in.
I think we're fortunate that Alisson is probably quite comfortably the best keeper in the world positionally.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of mitigates the effect of any rust physically. But yeah, it's just I guess it's just general nerves before the game, to be honest, more than anything.
Yeah. So you think we're going to win, Josh? Do you have a scoreline for us?
2-0.
Oh, I'll take that. Dave?
1-1.
Vintage David. Because I want to will it into existence. 6-0 to Liverpool.
Do you know what game I think? Do you know what game I think it's actually going to be like last season? Do you know the 2-0 win at Cardiff? I think it's going to be like that, where Cardiff looked like they were quite good, but didn't really do anything, and we could have had 4 or 5 on the break. I think it's going to be like that, and it was a pretty comfortable 2-0 win.
But we'd have to pen them in, wouldn't we, for it to be like that game? Or well, if it means stylistically, but if we break through in the second half or contentious penalty.
Do you know what? I'd actually love a last-minute VAR penalty for a 1-0.
Oh, it'd be so vile. I was fucking dying waiting for Milner to take his penalty.
Yeah, but could you imagine Stu Brennan's head exploding after that? and other Man City fans on Twitter who will remain nameless, but anyone who knows me will know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It could be one of many.
One
So
question
many.
I have: which player, if they score a goal or if it's general celebrations, which player is most likely to hold up the six fingers to the Old Trafford faithful?
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Oh, God, yeah, that'd be amazing.
Or James Milner.
Yeah, I was thinking Milner
City.
as well. Milner would give it that.
I think Wijnaldum could, to be fair.
Yeah, but he's not going to score because it's away from home. So.
But even just, they celebrate the pylon and one of them gives it to the crowd after they do it.
Scored against Sheffield United.
No, Dean Henderson scored against Sheffield United.
I think Robertson's a good shout. Anything snide,
we're all quite snide though, aren't we? Really, the whole team got it in them.
I don't think they are at all. I still think compared to like all the United sides, even this current Man City side, lots of teams. I still think we're like, not that we're too nice, but it is a team full of like nice guys.
I think we've learned to be a little bit like, you look at Robertson with Messi. You look at Van Dijk whenever anyone starts on anyone's players. Yeah, Perez.
I just think they kind of love each other and love the club.
I wouldn't say we're snide. I'd say we've got some bite to us now, which
we can stand up for. I think we stand up for ourselves, but we don't really like. It's not like the new camp game. Jesus Christ, that was like an eye-opening experience in shithousery between Suarez and Alba and. They were unreal. They were. I'm sure I've seen games like that before, but it had been a long time since I've seen it happen to Liverpool. Fucking hell, they were just shithouse in every little thing that
quintessentially Spanish football club.
Yeah, really. It was
a masterclass in fucking shithousery. But it's just enabled by the referees though, because it was so clearly going on. I mean, Messi was pretty bad for it as well. He's always been narky. Yeah.
But my point is like Liverpool have no one anywhere near the levels of like an Ander Herrera. Our lads know how to go down and win penalties. Most top players do, but like only Robbo is like. He's like, and you think it because of his background, maybe he's the only one who's like not an academy player or didn't start at the very top. But
I think the main reason behind that is the fact that we are absolutely devoid of Spanish and Argentinian players.
Whoa, the stereotyping from Dave! Holy hell!
Oh, come on!
wait, who are the most? I suppose, because I was thinking Ander Herrera, because we did that biggest shithouse thing, and it was Ander Herrera.
David Silva. David Silva.
Diego Costa. But there's plenty. I mean, there's been no shortage of like. I think of the Chelsea teams, like they had fucking.
Oh, Portuguese are quite bad.
No, but even like they had like fucking Terry and Drogba, and like they had plenty of fucking lads who.
Yes, but I don't think they were Mourinho.
And I don't think they were anywhere near as bad as like. Do you remember the City game at Anfield in 13-14 and how bad David Silva was in that game? He was horrible.
I don't remember that game, but I know he's a little shit.
Oh no,
people go on about he's like silky playmaker. He is a fucking little twat. He is Bernardo as well. Even before the Chinguitos, whatever the fuck thing, Bernardo Silva is a fucking rat. When like they're all shocking.
Yeah, it's I think it's
Dave going full Brit, blame the RGs.
I was gonna say completely devoid of the art. The art boys, come on, try and shit out me.
Yeah, because even our most nerky players were fucking Suarez and
Mascherano.
Torres was fucking. Do you remember him getting in Terry's face in like his second ever game in England? Yeah, he was just like Terry was just like trying to give him the welcome to English football, and Torres just like not having it at all.
Mascherano was a narc. Who else was a narc?
Gerrard was like but like especially in his early career when he was just throwing in leg breakers every.
Gerrard just as painful as it is, Gerrard's just a bit of a prick, isn't he? So
yeah. Rangers legend Steven Gerrard.
I'm still whispering to myself. It's a testimonial. It's a testimonial. It's a testimonial.
As if it was like, as if he needed to piss on his legacy anymore. He had to don the famous red, white, and blue. You know.
Oh, have you seen Chelsea's kits this season? By the way, have you not noticed
the
this?
design, the weird design,
the red, white, and blue on the socks on the away and the home kit.
Well, they used to have one of their seasons they had like a red collar, didn't they? Red and white collar.
Oh, mate. I only noticed it this season.
Shout out to Rangers.
They are.
Appropriately.
They are. And it was, who else was it? I think it was Leicester as well. Rangers
so all the most Tory clubs in Britain, basically.
Yeah. A Rangers
Reading.
Yeah.
Reading is another one.
It's just all them clubs that take St. George's flags with the club logo on to England.
I feel like almost every club that isn't Liverpool does that. Yeah.
Oh, there's so many Chelsea ones. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not nice.
St. George's. That's the most appropriate way to finish up on a United preview is to talking about the Tory party. And toxic nationalism.
We can go into the nonsense.
Oh yeah, that's for our subscribers only podcast. So yeah, that'll be United then. It's gonna be awful. Speaking of awful football, we did, as I mentioned, have the international break, which Josh really enjoyed.
I didn't enjoy the football. I enjoyed the break.
Okay. Emphasis
on the
break,
football chain, I've got a question for you.
Yes.
You like supporting the Irish national team? Because I saw somebody arguing, an Irish guy arguing about leaving the best right wing back in the league, Matt Doherty, out, about leaving Shane Long out, James McCarthy out.
We did do that.
I was just thinking that is just grim. If
it is grim.
The kind of players you ruin.
It's like Irish supporting football, Crystal Palace, isn't it? Really,
it's worse. Irish football is one.
I honestly, like, out of Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England, I would genuinely say, on paper, you guys have got the worst team.
Well,
even worse than Scotland.
But even like you'd say, like Northern Ireland probably have people say they have inferior players, but Michael O'Neill has been like working wonders for them. Scotland always seem to have some good players. Like they have two really good left backs and a couple of decent players, but they always have crap managers. Wales are kind of the same now with Giggs. Yeah, with Ireland it's just crap manager and we don't have the players. But Irish football has been so grim now for a while that I can't even remember the last time I properly watched like our internationals. I think it might be like 2012 because international football is just kind of crap anyway. But like Ireland games are just because we had Trapattoni and then we had Martin O'Neill. Like just like no, we need a bigger pragmatist. You know, like this guy isn't negative enough. We need to get someone who's more anti-football, and it's just like that can work in like certain games, but like when that's your approach, when it comes to actually like having to beat Georgia and like supposedly lesser nations, like just don't have a clue how to do it. And even now, like as I say, it sounds grim that we're arguing about like leaving out Matt Doherty, which is ridiculous when fucking the ghost of Seamus Coleman is still playing and getting sent off. But like even recently, like we have like Enda Stevens looks like I thought he looks good for Sheffield United in a really good system. He was decent against Liverpool. Like he looks okay. Like Jeff Hendrick can play a bit of football when he has to. Aaron Connolly's come through and he looks decent, but it's just the management's so grim, and that's just at the football. That's just at like the football level. You go administration, and it's like the corruption of like the FAI and John. It's like a running joke. it's just grim all around. Aren't going to make the Euros by the looks of things, and they don't deserve to. Even with this new expanded fucking 128 teams, or how many teams it is in the Euros nowadays.
It's the whole of Europe without Ireland, basically.
Yeah,
by the looks of things.
I saw somebody talking about. Well, actually, it was the same guy that was ruining friggin' James McCarthy. And
I know which tweet, because I was in that thread as well.
Oh, yeah. That's probably how it came up with me.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned James Collins. Now, I thought this was Big Ginger's centre-back, James Collins, was playing
I had never heard nor seen this guy play before. I tuned into the Switzerland game.
He plays for Luton, doesn't he?
It's Luton Town.
Yeah, I just don't watch Irish games. I just don't watch them because they're just like. Well, I'd actually sooner watch Wales or Scotland because they at least have like some players who are fun to watch. What little ones Ireland do have, they're just either not trusted to play or just playing such shit reductive systems that it's just crap. Like and the whole experience, it's just the commentators, even the RTE, the national fucking media in Ireland, the Twitter account was tweeted out like, think Irish starting to improve here, they're passing the ball to each other. You know, it's like even our own state media is just dunking on the team. It's just miserable. I've stayed away for so long that I'm not even in touch with it anymore.
Didn't you like replace McCarthy when you hired him? Well, haven't you got a manager taken over from him after he's finished?
No, Mick McCarthy was our manager in. The reason Mick McCarthy's back is pure nostalgia because he took us to the 2002 World Cup. That was when we actually had really good players. We had Shay Given, we had Steve Finnan, Steve Kerr, Ian Hart. Like we basically had like just loads of Premier League stars. Robbie Keane, Niall Quinn, Damien Duff. You know, like actually
still
had like
trying to work
really
out which
team.
one's the good player you were talking about.
Roy Keane.
Yeah, Roy, and like that was the World Cup where Roy Keane fucked off. Like, you know, that's Saipan. That's the famous thing. That was 2002. That was Mick McCarthy's. That was the last tournament he oversaw. He was gone after the World Cup.
Yeah, but haven't they already hired the person that's going to replace him after the Euros?
Stephen Kenny, I think.
Well, why don't if they wanted him long term, why didn't they just hire him instead of Mick McCarthy?
Fuck if I know. What little I know about Stephen Kenny is that he managed in the League of Ireland, and I think he took Dundalk to like the last round of the Champions League qualifiers.
I remember that. I think it was the Europa League. He went quite far in there.
I'm so fucking detached, and I am a shameless fucking armchair fan that I know fuck all about the national game here as well, the league. But I don't know. It's Irish football. It's not great.
Well, I've actually got Ireland's last national squad up in front of me here. Now, the attackers, the forwards, have 37 caps in total between them. How many goals would you say they have between them?
15.
Josh, are you for real? Come on. Because I assume Shane Long isn't on there because he wasn't in the squad this time.
He isn't, no.
And even then, Shane Long scores one goal every 40 games. So 37 caps between the forwards, I'd say.
37. Oh, sorry, I misheard it. Oh, about 4.
What did you think it was? I'll say 1 goal.
Oh, it was 2.
Oof.
Alan Judge has 1. And James Collins.
Alan Judge.
I don't know who that is. I've never even.
He plays for Ipswich Town in League One.
I don't even know anyone in Ireland surnamed Judge.
Alan Judge's best form came for Notts County. I mean, that's all you need to know. He played for Brentford for a bit.
Well, I thought he was going to be one of those who kind of defected to the Irish national team.
No, he is Irish.
But he is, yeah. He was born in Dublin. I don't know how he's got the name Alan Judge. But yeah.
And who scored the other goal? Who scored the other 50%?
James Collins?
Yeah, again, I'd never seen them.
But I bet that was against Gibraltar or something like that, wasn't it?
Put it this way, Shane Duffy has 32 caps and has 3 goals.
So he is basically the air attack.
That's where we look. That's where we look most dangerous as well, because Duffy is like legitimately a beast in the air, and we just like try to plop every set piece onto his head, and that's.
God,
like
you guys are fucked when Darren Randolph retires as well. You're lucky you've got that kid coming through at City.
Excuse me, we've got Queven Kelleher.
Oh, yeah. I guess. Yeah, I mean,
you know about the City kid. They signed him $1 million, I think, from some League of Ireland team. So now it's a fucking mega rich club hoovering up young talent. But
Shamrock, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's got a lot of hype around him. I can't remember his name, but
Basnu, I think his name is Gavin Basnu.
Yeah. He looks.
But I mean
it's something.
Glenn Whelan's still getting the game. I didn't realise he plays for Hearts now.
Yeah, Glenn Whelan is like.
Callum O'Dowd.
The Glenn Whelan memes were stale in 2014. We're about to enter a fucking new decade, and he's still.
Did they play they played James McLean at left wing back and put left wing back Ender Stevens at centre back.
He was theoretically playing on the left of a front three against Switzerland. Theoretically being the operative word.
It was just amazing how Aaron Connolly scored like a brace and immediately got called up.
Yeah, he was immediately promoted from the under-20. Like, oh shit, actually.
I was like, are you really that devoid of attackers? But you actually are. Look,
mate, fucking two Premier League goals. That's as many as all the other forwards have scored. Don't forget.
To be fair though, I think Callum Robinson's looked alright when I've seen him.
Again, it's just a case of, even if we did have these prospects, we need like a manager whose peak wasn't nearly 2 decades ago. You know, like we just need.
Who was born in Northampton?
Because it's like if you're that devoid of talent, and you can't David Moyes it and like just grind and build a really effective kind of grinding team, then you just have to go the complete opposite way and just play youth. Go expensive, give fans fucking something, and it's Can we move on? This is sad.
Sorry, just a quick one. You've also got Troy Parrott coming through, who actually looks really good.
Yeah, he'll be okay. The future is saved.
Yeah,
the future is.
I mean, to be fair though, he's your national team for quite a while. All it's taken is a really good striker in the past, so I guess you never know. Who else have you got? You haven't got much else. You've got Kieran Clark, who's been left out, Robbie Brady, Harry Arter.
Mate, fucking Richard Keogh was a staple in our team for years. The only reason he probably wasn't playing this time was because he fucking...
That was knees to his fucking head.
Because him and the lads went for a spin, like, fucking hell.
You also called up Podrick Amond, who played...
Here, Dave, get out of this.
That's my middle name.
For Newport County. Podrick, sorry.
England got battered by Czech Republic. That was fun. And then there was the Bulgaria game, which was less fun all.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, you called someone who plays for Salford City.
Dave, get out, will you? I actually watched the Czech Republic game. Hendo was really bad. Now, I know it's international football, but I said I don't think he's been very good this season. He was... And Southgate is doing this thing where he's not picking Trent and Gomez and Ben Chilwell, and instead he's playing that guy who fell into a teleporter in the 1970s and was transported to modern day football, Michael Keane.
He is playing Chilwell. Chilwell played against Bulgaria.
Yeah, he started him in the second game, but before that he was like, "Hey, I'll give Danny Rose it's 2014, right? Danny Rose is still good." Yeah, they were crap against Czech Republic and deservedly beaten. Yeah, they were really crap, deservedly beaten.
You can dig out Henderson, and I've always thought. Well, I haven't thought. I've always tried to be impartial when it comes to Henderson, but putting Henderson next to Declan Rice, what are you to achieve with that midfield? Like, what is the purpose?
I don't get the fucking fuss with Declan Rice either. Like, he's
a decent player. He's
he's destined to do a Connor Cody and just like be the converted midfielder playing in
He's
defense.
an absolute fool for not picking Ireland at international level. He's an absolute fool for doing that because.
Yeah, we're still waiting by the phone for Jack Grealish.
What?
Fucking hell, we'll take Kevin Nolan. Kevin Nolan's probably still good.
What would you rather do? Would you rather play what he's going to get? I'd say about 15 caps in his career for England.
It looks like he's going to get more though because of the fuss around. Like he's starting games for them. Like he's and the
it's
media.
That West Ham thing though, isn't it? It's
yeah. Because there's so much of the
England
media are
FC.
West Ham fans. Yeah, but like there's so
Mark
much. Mark
Noble's definitely been giving them fucking cheeky little studs down the Achilles in training for jealousy.
I think Mark Noble's another one who could play for us as well. Because this week on Twitter was like this week on Twitter has been British people applying for Irish citizenship. So like, yeah, come on, we'll take you all if you can kick a ball, you know.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's just I would hate that if I was Irish. I would absolutely despise that. Just
it's just more kind of Brits being Brits is the is like generally that's it because it's just because there was that awful fucking she pops up on my timeline with people
I saw
Emma Kennedy talking about like the royal family and that and like she was like I'm getting citizenship. She was like, what did someone say? They're just calling her out for it basically, and she was like, well, if I can, I should be allowed. And then someone said modification of your, because she's getting it through like a dead grandmother or something. Somebody said like the commodification of Irishness is really of Irish citizenship is the most British thing you can do. So fair play, but yeah, I know that's a whole thing. But to be honest, when it comes to football, I couldn't give a fuck about all that. I hate even with the rugby team because the Rugby World Cup's going on. There's some like naturalized Dutch players playing for Ireland and things like that. And there's some retired player and he's got fucking Irish blood. And I just want to they don't have Irish blood. Like I want to fucking smack anyone who does that with kind of rhetoric. Like, yeah.
I mean, I'm not really that our national team at all, purely because of the idiots that associate themselves with them.
Who for once they were outshone by Bulgarian idiots.
So cringy just watching people get on the high horse about it. To be honest, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was absolutely abysmal.
What did you think? Should have everyone seemed to have take should they have walked off? Or?
As soon as it went out on the tannoy and that got booed, personally, I think they should have walked off.
After the big song and dance they made about it before the game, big splashes in the paper, we'll walk off as racist abuse.
Did they actually say that?
Yeah, the fact
Kane did, didn't he?
Yeah, and Abraham did, and Southgate more or less said they would. I know they're following UEFA's protocol, which is probably what they've been told to do, but...
Is that the 3-strike thing?
Yeah, they never got to step 2 officially, apparently. It was just step 1.
I wasn't watching the game because I couldn't... I think I watched the start and I was like, I don't really want to...
But it was just...
I don't want to tune into this.
They should... Yeah, I mean, the racist abuse was quite obvious. It was still happening in the second half, and they just kind of played through it. And it's just like... They should have taken it off and, given a win to England, because obviously... That's how you're going to start punishing teams. They should have been taken off, I think.
I saw a tweet from someone and said that, wasn't it weird when, after the second announcement, loads of the ultras just walked out? And I
think they got pushed.
I assumed that the tweet was being sarcastic, as if to say, the announcement thing fucking does nothing. But apparently people did actually walk out.
Yeah, but I think they were told to go.
Yeah, but then fucking UEFA are going to claim that as a win for their protocol, which is absolute fucking crap. I was giving my take on the game, and I was like, the only way that you'll make news and make a story and make the best way to try and prod UEFA into doing something, or FIFA or whoever, is to walk off, because the England national team, like, that'll be world news, like them walking off because of that. Like, that's the only way to bring, because this has been going on for years. Like English, like, obviously it happens with other teams, but like black English players getting racially abused. It happened since, like, as far as I can remember, the early 2000s, and I'm sure the 90s and going back further, they weren't exactly a period of awakening for, going traveling around Europe to away games. But like, yeah, it's just all so predictable and crap. And
I thought they were just going out to wait for the England fans, to be honest. But I can't. I don't know. It's a absolutely ludicrous issue. The grim part for me was just, to be honest, seeing two white guys as the centre of the discussion from the England perspective. I never really saw Kane talking to Mings particularly, or any of the other players that were getting racially abused.
Well, they did, because Mings reported it to Kane, who told the referee. So they obviously had a discussion about it. Obviously,
I've a hard time going in too hard on like Kane or
the bit that irritated
me.
No,
yeah, I'm not taking digs. It was just more. Yeah, I don't know.
It's the way the media frame it, but it's the captain and the manager, isn't it? So
well, the bit what irritated me more about it was the commentary. I quite like Clive Tilsley, but he kept banging on about how well Gareth Southgate was dealing with it. I was like, sorry, Gareth Southgate also is a white man, so it's not really it's not him you should be praising for dealing with racist abuse. It should be the black players who are being targeted for actually playing through it. And I thought Tyrone Mings had a brilliant game, and he was really good. And with the circumstances, he deserves a lot of credit, because a lot of players could have just gone, "No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing my job whilst being racially abused." So everyone giving praise to Gareth Southgate for his measured response and his dignity.
Was he saying that during the game or after?
Yeah, it was during it.
His specific words were he's handling it diplomatically, which it's not something that should be handled diplomatically. It's not.
I think that's more fault of Tilsley, because I think credit, like, anytime I do hear Southgate speak on these things, like, remember he was asked about potential racism in Russia and immediately said, like, well, we're not perfect here, and like, I do think he always speaks incredibly well on it insofar as he can, as someone kind of a second party to the thing, but like he's not like a direct victim of it or anything. I think he always speaks well, and then it became a thing of, oh, well, how can English people criticize when there's racism? It's like, no, but this is happening. It's like this weird whataboutery. I don't know. It's just, yeah.
It always happens with football, especially with stuff like this. I mean, there was a tweet from United fans somehow linking it with the Suarez Everlark. It's just
because Henderson posted a picture showing solidarity with Sterling. I think it was the biggest intergalactic brain tweet I saw was a Man City journalist. I actually think he's Irish, but he does Man City stuff. He tweeted like, maybe now people are finally waking up to why Man City boo the Champions League anthem. I was like, what?
Wait till you read about the owners.
And their players and manager.
Yeah, but clearly their Man City fans were booing them, like, we're trying to draw attention to racism in European qualifying. Like, what? Like, it's just the takes that spawn that kind. It's like spin-off series. You know the way TVs get like spin-offs and stuff. Spin-off like tweet genres. Is like, what is going on? Like, it's just, yeah. Twitter is as ever. It's Twitter.
It's not really a thing. It's not a time for stupid hot takes to kind of distract from.
Everybody's got to get their shit in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mentioned a few things in the group chat, but I'm going to put that in the public domain and just take away from what the actual issue was in that specific circumstance. And I mean, it's it's just the what about it is just
Yeah, we're all eagerly
It's
anticipating UEFA giving Bulgaria a stern verbal warning and a 26,000 fine.
To close off the other half of the stadium for about 2 games and then. By the way, that stadium didn't even look safe. Some of the camera shots that ITV was showing beforehand, that stadium was crumbling.
Yeah, I can't imagine any stadium is too safe.
But yeah, I think we should just ban international football. Personally,
a bold yet courageous shout. I tell you, one person who doesn't think we should ban international football. That's Genie Wijnaldum. Loves it. Absolutely loves it.
He gets put off the leash.
Yeah.
He spends his whole season having to be shackled, and then he gets to see Papa Koeman, and he's allowed to go.
Oh yes.
Papa Koeman.
The man with the key to the man who can rub the lamp and get the genie out, or something.
Nearly.
Analogy. Yeah, nailed it. Yeah, but Wijnaldum, there was talk as well. Wijnaldum, how they were like, oh, the mystery of Wijnaldum playing for Netherlands, and so he went to score and goal. No, that's just the way he played for Liverpool in our first season before Klopp realised that this wasn't the best way to go about it and decided to just ban him from the opposition box.
I just find it funny how he can't shoot for England, for Liverpool.
Yeah,
England.
And he hits that.
And then suddenly, he hits a screamer from 30 yards top corner.
Yeah.
Like, right then.
Now, that header that he scored, and it was a really good header, we've seen him score that header a lot, and he is really good at that. But
yeah,
as I say, he's banned from entering the opposition box, so a bit of Hoover going on there. In tribute to Genie Wijnaldum hoovering up the ball for Liverpool in a more restricted.
He loves playing for Holland, doesn't he?
And he's great. On Holland, because I love watching them because Wijnaldum's really fun for them, and they've just kind of, it's nice, see Van Dijk playing. They've got some fun players. Who do you fancy for Euro 2020?
I'm going to go really wild and out there. I'm going to say Italy.
They're
8 from 8.
Them good again.
8 from 8 in qualifier. I know it doesn't mean anything.
Republic of Ireland.
Ha ha ha. Good one, Dave.
Big Richie Keogh back from his 3 surgeries.
England could be contenders if Southgate can fucking
they won't.
If he can I suppose it's classic England. They have the players, but
they don't have the manager.
They also don't have the midfield.
France did last time. Apparently, France looked absolutely crap, as they always do under Deschamps. But you wouldn't be shocked to see them turn it on. Tournament rolls around because they just have so much fucking depth and quality.
Yeah, also known as Olivier Giroud.
Always Olivier Giroud. So the Barclays is back. Looking at other fixtures this weekend, it's not a great game week for fixtures. At least whenever there's top 6 clashes, it means there's less interesting games between top 6 and the non-top 6. But City are away at Palace. That I've got a really good feeling about it. How about you?
It looks as though Aguero's injured. He's been in another car crash.
What? Fuck! He's in my fantasy team. Shut.
He's my captain.
He hasn't been. He hasn't been injured, but I would imagine that
he has been injured apparently, according to the Argentina manager. He said he's not. I don't think he got called up, or he was called up.
He didn't. Because the car crash was today.
Yeah.
He crashed his car.
Yeah, he crashed his car today on the way to
fucking
training.
Hell, was he? What was he doing in Derby?
Remember, he crashed off. For fuck's sake.
Just leave it. We'll leave it. It's a nice. It's a nice thing to have. In the
fourth wall in absolute smithereens.
Yeah.
Aguero, then, Dave. What was that about car crashes?
He crashed the car. Well, no, he didn't crash a car. He was in a taxi that crashed in Amsterdam a couple of years ago, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Has he been in... Oh, wasn't there something really dodgy? The driver died or something, didn't it? There was something dodgy.
There was something really dodgy about it. Plaid style just didn't comment on it because he said, I am not the police. I just had nothing to say about it.
Cheers. Well, yeah. But City away to Palace last time we checked in on our bald hero. He was getting absolutely done in by Adama Traore 2.0, now featuring goals.
They only scored one Premier League goal for Wolves before.
I think it was
one.
Was it two? Yeah,
1 or 2.
No, I think it was
like,
one.
Right,
and then he tripled his tally. But I watched that game in full, and
I didn't.
City were
poor.
I didn't see the Norwich game, but from what I didn't see the full Norwich game, but from what I saw at the end, they were at least creating chances of pressure in the first half. That's as bad as I've seen.
It reminded me of their Palace
since the Stuart Pearce days.
It reminded me of their Palace game last season at home when they lost 3-2.
Yeah,
and they were chasing the game,
that, yeah.
And De Bruyne scored the cross, and it went directly in. But they didn't create anything
else. That day. Yeah, no. But that first half against Wolves, they were so bad. Then they brought on equalities, or I should say comedies. Bernardo Silva. They brought him on, and they were a lot better. They created chances. They ticked the old XG box, but like Wolves, I thought, like, even though they were ceding possession, complete control of the game. They had Cutrone up front, who is the worst player I have ever seen in my life. He is Fabio Barini on a high carb diet. He is abysmal. He is crap, but he was squandering all the chances, and then Nuno had the sense to bring on this Irish superstar Matt Doherty, put him right wing back, and he just said, well, there's loads of space up back. I'll put Adama up front. And City, first half and second, just giving away. They kept losing possession, and Wolves were just running clear through. And
sorry, carry on.
Jimenez finally had someone he could pass to after he hopefully ended Otamendi's career.
Yeah.
And yeah, Adama proved to be a more reliable goal scorer than striker.
I was about to mention Otamendi, our Argentinian hero. When Laporte got injured, I didn't think the impact was going to be that big. So I just thought, well, City don't have much of the ball, have a lot of the ball anyway. I think they'll be fine. After watching that, I think that they could drop points. I don't think they're going to drop points against Palace. I think they'll be fine.
Well, that's why it has me excited, because
we'll have Zaha running at them, hopefully.
And Ayew, Jordan Ayew has remembered that he's a footballer. You know, if they can, because City was just giving the ball away as well. Now Wolves. Actually, Palace, they're probably a bit similar to Wolves in a way. They won't be doing the three at the back, but they're.
I think it'll be.
What they look to do is similar
to Man City. I don't think there's going to be any problems.
Yeah, but it'll definitely be a game worth watching, anyways, because City have problems right now.
I think it's worth mentioning that I haven't watched any of Man City's losses this season, so I probably won't watch the game, just in a superstitious.
Yeah, you stay away.
Yeah, I've watched most of their games when they've been on, but I've not seen the two they've lost. I did watch the one they drew, though, so yeah, might watch it. Don't know.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely robbed that game.
They actually played very well.
Yeah, they battered Spurs, and
it's probably one of the best I've ever seen them, to be honest. Yeah,
but that'll be one to watch. The only other game that jumps out at all is the early game on Saturday, and the Ev by the end of the weekend could be 19th.
Is it West Ham? Is it West Ham they're playing?
Yeah, they're away to West Ham.
They're away to West
guaranteed. Ham. Huh? Away to West Ham. Yeah,
I thought they're at home.
Yeah, Marco Silva could be gonzo by Monday morning.
I just don't get them.
Yeah, they're just crap.
They are.
They're just crap. They're trying to get relegated. They're trying to get relegated to take the shine off our title.
No, I think they're trying to get relegated.
That's the master plan.
They're trying to get relegated so we can't sing about them not winning a trophy when they win the championship next year.
Yeah, we won't be able to go away to them next season with the trophy.
See,
they'll just dodge us.
I think Mourinho will join them.
I think it could happen too.
Yeah, I think they'll give him money, and that's all he wants. Build his own squad, and they've got
I was gonna say, is Dave still here, or
is Hoover still here?
But then yeah, I think maybe he turned the mic back on so we could hear the Hoover.
Yeah, I think Mourinho will be. I think Mourinho will be Everton manager when we play them in December.
That'll be both the best and worst thing ever.
At Anfield, and Prime.
Oh my God! Stop.
The Barclays has never seen anything like it in its entire history.
Yeah. Well, since Dave is, it's about time. While Dave is literally cleaning up, I think we'll figuratively clean up now. Last bit of business, we have some listeners' questions. First one comes from Ben Six McGuire. He says, "What is your idea of a perfect fry-up?"
So do you want to just like name the things I would have?
Yeah, what's a good fry-up for you?
No fry-up at all.
You don't like fry-ups, Dave?
No, shite.
Is it because your house is so dusty and you get dusty sausages? That's a really bad take, by the way, Dave. Just so you know.
Well, no, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is, though. It is.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's very bad.
It's not.
Right,
what do you have in the morning? Well, I forgot, because what do you do if your microwave's broken and you can't have cereal?
I don't eat. I don't eat in the morning. Between the hours of 3:30 in the morning and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I do not eat.
But if it's 3 a.m., you're fucking going to town, is it?
Yeah. You can hear the buzz of my dehumidifier as well as the microwave as nuking some lovely lukewarm cornflakes.
Right. Josh, can you give me a real answer?
Mine would be probably 2 of each. Bacon, sausage, egg, hash browns, beans, and toast.
Sounds good, although
really
two beans is a bit stingy, but yeah.
2 beans, yeah. I don't particularly like tomatoes and mushrooms, so...
Yeah, I like both of those things and other things, but on the fry, I just don't get...
I don't mind black pudding, but I wouldn't choose to have it.
White pudding's better.
I've never had
white even though it's not really pudding, but whatever. Yeah, I think I'd go what you said, although
I don't mind fried bread over toasted.
The rashers, or what if you call, I don't know if you call them rashers or bacon in in Britannia,
rashers.
But
bacon,
yeah, the rashers have to be grilled, not fucking fried. Fried rashers are fucking...
See, I don't mind either way. I can have both, so
they're just fucking pieces of...
If you were cooking me
it's like a little puck of gristle. It's just crap.
If you were cooking me breakfast, I wouldn't mind them grilled. Don't worry.
All right, well, I'll sort you out.
Yes.
Other question we have from JP Corbo is, when will Spelt Key return from the war? Spelt Key, aka Kieran, one of the resident meme lords on Twitter. He recently had his annual retirement. Who knows? Hopefully soon. Maybe a 6-0 win will entice him back onto these Twitter shores.
Wake him up from Bobos.
Yeah, Bobos. Yeah. And then last one from our resident.
3 this week, did we?
Yeah, from the young buck himself, Blaine. He asks, "Why is Shane so old?"
Why are you so young?
Yeah.
12-year-old.
Yeah. Tell you what, Blaine. Let your skull fully form and then send us a real question. So yeah, that's been it for this week. You can find our Twitter account over at LFC Stuff Podcast. I think we've covered everything. We look to be back next week to review.
Depends if we lose.
Review. Yeah. It's like, I feel like we say this every week, but especially when it's a big game, we're like, if we win, we'll be all over, and if we lose, you'll never hear from us again.
I'll give you my review.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hang on. I've lost. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like the Hoovers overlapped into Dave's power at home. So on that note, I couldn't hear you the entire time.
Oh yeah, I was saying I'll give you my review today.
Oh yeah, because you're not watching the game.
Is it shite? It's shite.
Oh well. You know, Shane, why is the word Karen trending in Ireland at the moment?
The word Karen?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
My VPN runs out of Dublin.
Wait, and on Twitter, Karen is
trending on Irish Twitter.
She must have been called up to the Irish squad. The only yeah.
She's got more goals than James Collins.
Finally, a replacement for Glenn Whelan. Yeah, but yeah, that's it. You'll find us at our Twitter account. You can let us know what you think, and we'll be back when we're back. Hope you have a good week, lads. It's been a pleasure as always.
From me and the Hoover.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yes, farewell, everybody.
Slán go fóill. All the best.